So here I'll be stripping my boot, as this is the slightly crappier one. So the way you strip a boot is by heating up the polish. You can do this by using freshly boiled water and just pouring it on, and the polish will melt and just roll off. All you really have to do is heat it up and wash it off. Then even further, if you have a tap, you can always get it some hot water. The reason why you have to strip boots is because occasionally you'll end up damaging the boot. It is a long way to get from the bare bones to the full boot. The key to boot polishing, first and foremost, is experimentation. I'll also talk about the principles of boot polishing. So, to polish, I typically use one finger, but you can use 2 or 3. So what you do is you have it, you kind of fold it over your finger, pull it back, and twist it around so that we have this kind of shape where you have a flat surface on the tip of your finger to polish. I have my Kiwi polish and some water, and that is all you need for a base coat. A base coat is the meat and bones of the boot. It is what you build a very shiny polish onto. And to polish is quite simple. You go around spreading the polish out on top, and you make some circles, and every so often you're going to want to pick up some water, dip it in water if you're starting out, and you just make swirls. And every so often you grab even more polish and go at it. And yeah, this will take a while. So don't fear if you don't have shiny boots in 5 minutes. So now, I would say I'm done the base coat. So this is my already polished boot, and this is the boot I just polished here. This boot, while it has a base coat, it isn't too shiny. So what we have to do is put a finishing coat on, and it's a bit different polishing one of those. The main difference between a base coat and your final coat for the parade is the amount of polish and how light you are. So, you only need a bit of polish for this. See? Not too much. And what you want to do here is you want to go lightly and quickly, just across the surface. The aim of this is to get it as reflective as possible. So the boot comes in several different sections. You have the toe, this really odd part of the boot. Here is the heel, as well as the tongue of the boot, which is behind the laces. Polish that if someone's threatening you. I wouldn't do it if you don't fall into those two categories. There is a crack where they meet. In the middle of it, dust starts to pile up if you're in a dusty place like Blackdown, where there's just so much dust constantly getting in that crack. What you need to do is get a toothbrush. You're going to want to get a large scooping of polish. So what you do is in that little seam, you just take it and move it along. This part here, the side of the sole, you also have to do the same thing to it. However, we're going to bring the elephant in the room on the table. Meet Kiwi Instant Polish. But my family got me this, and I found out one of the best uses for it. On the side of your boots is the only place I would ever use this. So right on the sole, you can use this to make a really, really nice and shiny coat. Bonus round! Stringing the boot. And the interesting thing about stringing parade boots is they don't crisscross. They're actually horizontal, one above the other. So first, find the halfway point of your lace. You're going to want to string both ends through and try and keep that point in the middle. Parade boots, you only want to have the horizontal pieces showing. So any movement you do is done under this part. So we start by stringing this side up through the boot. This one, you go over the boot to the second hole. This one, you then pull above the other, so this is the opposite lace. And then this one goes over and under. Once you get to the top, you'll find out one string left that doesn't go through a hole, and the other one that does have a hole. So what I do here is I draw the second one up through the top hole so that we have two strings coming from the same hole. Once there, we can then tie a reef knot. And what you want to do with the access bits is you just want to put them back in the boot, tucked away. With that ends the polishing of the boots. So remember, to always make sure that you have heat, water, and polish when you're polishing. Remember to do a base coat, then the parade coat, and then do the sole of the boot. You also polish the sides of the boot. And also lace it up.
California raisins from the California vineyards.
Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine?
Sounds better than what I got.